All right, welcome back to Stock Tricks with Nick for this week's trading recap from February 1st to February 5th. As you can see, it was up $331, just under 1%. And although I'm happy, of course, with a winning week, this was a very, very frustrating week for trading for myself. If you've been following along, you know that last week I went 100% into cash and then actually had a little short position on with SQQQ because the market looked terrible going in or with last week. And even when Sunday rolled around and the futures opened up, everything looked ugly. So the fact that the market just came back this strong is really exciting in the future. But for this week, it was really frustrating because I didn't have any positions on going into the week, and I was very cautious adding positions throughout the week. So I didn't have as large of a winning week, but we did find a lot of really strong winners in our watch list. So hopefully you guys were able to trade off that. Yeah, hindsight's 2020 on that. Who knows if the market just pulled back down? I would have been really happy being 100% in cash, but you can only trade what's in front of you. And the leaders this week: MVIS 70%, MGNI 60%, 59%, and SKLZ up 59%. All right. Quick agenda. We'll go through the market recap, some indexes over week 5 of the Tik Tok Trading Challenge, review both the Sunday breakout watch list and the watch list that we put on during Wednesday's live or Tuesday's live stream. Sorry. And then I'll show you what I'm holding into the weekend, and we'll wrap it up there. If you're here for a specific stock, there's going to be timestamps for each of the charts that we covered today. And if this is your first time and you enjoy the content, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, and TikTok. Quick disclaimer, nothing that I say is financial or trading advice. This is all for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before trading. Trading comes with financial risk. All right, so a quick look at the market, then we'll jump into the charts. I mean, look at this massive bounce back from last week. S&P 500 up 4.7%, the Qs up 5.4%, and then FFTY is the IBD top 50. That more typically correlates with the stocks that I typically trade. So with that up 8.1%, this is why I'm kicking myself. Even though I had a 1% week, this was really a week to swing for the fences. But let's jump to some of those charts. Whoops. Stock charts, and I will be switching things up to use stock charts instead of E-Trade market and candle lines. So first we have S&P 500. So you see, this is what we were looking at on Friday. We closed just at the 50-day simple moving average, a little bit above the lower Bollinger Band, but really large selling volume as everything was pulling back. And I mean, this was I think it was about 7% drop or so from the high here. That looks scary. Lots of selling volume. A lot of the old leaders were selling off. So and you don't know how far that's going to pull back. Like, what if the market rolls over like it did last February, March? So that's what I was protecting against. The fact that we just bounced right off that and shot extremely high. I mean, that's not going to happen every time we pull back, so can't be too mad at myself. But really strong action on the Qs. Now we're back at all-time highs. Or that was S&P 500. Sorry. Let's go Dow Jones. Also bounced back, but not as much. That continues to show relative weakness compared to the QQQs, which is what I got going on here. And then that FFTY. So this is the IBD top 50. This is kind of the index that I look at when I'm trading my breakout stocks, the growth stocks that I trade. And this looked even worse compared to QQQ during last week's sell-off. So, I mean, we were so far extended after kind of being in that chop box from middle September or September 1st to kind of middle of December. Then we finally broke out of that strong uptrend, but kind of too quick. So we expected a pullback. Did not expect this bounce back to be that strong, but I mean, if the market's strong, I'm happy to participate, but it just took me a little bit of time to get back into it, which that's the frustrating part. All right, let's go to the Tik Tok Trading Challenge. So as you can see, I was up 0.74% on the week. Overall, that's 17.67% on the year. The TikTok account was down 1.55%. That's because basically everyone voted for NIO, and that was down 4.2% from when I bought at the market open on Monday, which it gapped up on Monday, so bought at a gapped up price, and then sold with 10 minutes left in the day on Friday. Forgot to mention, if you're new to the my channel, I do this TikTok trading challenge where any money that I make on TikTok, I put into an account from my breakout watch list that I post on Sunday mornings. I run a poll on Twitter, and you guys get to vote how the account gets invested for the week. And then if that TikTok trading account beats my own personal trading account on a weekly compounding basis, I'm giving away the TikTok account for free. So all you have to do to enter that is drop your Twitter or TikTok handle in the comments of the TikTok video that I made on YouTube. That is in the link. The link for that is in the description of this video. So let's jump through some of these charts. We got. Let me go back here. All right, from the breakout watch list, man, we had. Let's see, candle glance. We'll start with the top performing one, Rocket Pharmaceuticals. And let me switch over here so it's a little bit cleaner for you guys. And annotate. All right, so this one, high type flag. Let me do some measuring. So we had a move of 130% or so from the pullback here to the top. Since then, it traded basically sideways. The largest pullback was only 20%. So high type flags are 90% or more in 8 weeks or less, and then a pullback within 25% from the high. Just shows that even the short-term sellers don't really have a reason to get out. If you're a day trader or whatever, you take profits here, but really not many people trying to get out on a 128% move. That shows great relative strength. So that's why it was on the watch list. Unfortunately, did not get many votes on Twitter, but this was coming in. It made it looked like it was getting ready to go around here, and then it pulled back again, undercutting all those daily lows through here. So you undercut the lows, stop out the weaker hands, and it typically sets up the trade even better. And then you had kind of a 3-day pivot through here. Not a perfect drawing, but you get the point on here. And then Tuesday, we broke over that after kind of pulling back to the 8 and the 20-day simple moving 8-day exponential, 20-day simple moving average, broke over the pivot point. That could have been a buy. And then it just ran and closed relatively high in the upper half of Thursday's wick. So this continues to look strong. The minor pullback on Wednesday came on extremely light volume. Extremely light volume compared to all the up days. So really strong chart, high type flag, starting to break out here. That's why I put it on the watch list. And unfortunately, you guys did not vote too often on it. Let's see, SOLO is next. Let's go to that one. So solo, I actually took this trade myself. And the reason behind that, let me get the measuring tape out. So extremely strong breakout here, 460%, and then did pull back a little bit more aggressively than I'm used to. So pull back 58%. Typically, I don't trade stocks that pull back over 50% from the highs. But this, and I didn't trade it early on in here. I let it base out, and then it started to form this right side of the base. And then at that point, then I felt it was appropriate. We had kind of since the end of November through now, it's based out. And I bought with a break over new trend line. We had that pivot right through there. I actually bought it a little bit lower on the breakover that Tuesday's high, on Tuesday's high. But you could see tons of volume coming in yesterday as I think it moved about 14, sorry, I think it moved about 14% on the break yesterday on Thursday. And then today, I had my stop at my entry at 808. Never came down to that. It did pull back. What was it down? 8% today, but on lower volume, touched off that 8-day and rallied back a little bit. So hopefully that's just letting out those short-term traders that wanted to take 15% profit instead of a much longer move. But this looked really strong. I'm glad I got into it. And this was the second most voted on option, which is good to see. Next we have NEO, and this was the, where is it? This was the most voted on with 72% of the votes. And unfortunately, let me get annotation. So here was Monday's candle. You see we not gapped up, but we opened up about 3 or 4%. And then we just kind of flushed from there and traded sideways. Not too much to break down on this chart. I might have this on my breakout watch list going into next week again, just because we've still only pulled back 18% or so off of a 70% move. So not quite a high tight flag, but really showing fine relative strength. Or it's not getting sold off. Very close to the top. Lower volume on the pullback, especially the last 2 days. Very, very light volume. ATRs, let me pull down here. Average true range starting to come in. So the only thing that's holding me back on this one is with everything else breaking out and being so strong this week, why didn't this one move? So something to think about. I might have it on my watch list that'll come out on Sunday morning, but I'll have to do some more research on that. But from the TikTok Trading Challenge perspective, we opened at the gap. We opened the position right at the open on Monday, which is when it was at its highest price, and just kind of traded slightly down throughout the week. And finally, the last one that was on the list was ARLO. And this one, I mean, it broke out. Let's see, what was the move? So yeah, it had a 24% move on Monday with tons of volume, breaking out over the pivot, exactly what we covered on the breakout watch list on Sunday. But unfortunately, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all sold back, and it's right back in the base now. So if you're actively managing that position, you probably sell some into strength, move your stop to your entry, take the risk out, and get stopped out on the other portion. Because we just buy at the open, sell at the close with the TikTok Trading Challenge, did take it for a small loss. But I mean, this looked great coming out. I would have kept it on my watch list, breakout watch list, even though it did pull back and give back. But all right, that is the TikTok Trading Challenge. Now I have an 11.6% lead, but going into week 6 next week. All right, let's go over some of our watch lists. So breakout watch list from Sunday, we had some monster gains. An average return, so I had 12 stocks on this watch list overall. The average return for the week was 13.7%, which is pretty great. Compared to the market, 4.7, 5.3, and then FFTY, which you should kind of compare those two numbers more so, 8.1%. So we even outperformed the IBD top 50, which is great to see. Leading the way was MGNI up 58%, 59%. VERU up 23%, and that's with giving 23% back today. We'll go over that chart. And JOE up 20%. And we just covered the only stock I had that was, well, I guess NEO and ARLO were the only two losing stocks. And I mean, you just saw those charts. So let's break down a couple of these. Let's go MGNI. If you guys are enjoying the video, please leave a like on the channel. It helps me out tremendously. And if you want to see more trading content, that'll help the YouTube algorithm push it your way. So here was MGNI. Let's do some price changes. So this has been in a very, very strong uptrend the past 52 weeks. You got the 200-day simple moving average only at like 12 and a half, 50-day, 20-day, 8-day, all doing the right thing, all in the right order. Had last week it held up relatively well from its peak to the low, down 15%, but that was after I think it was a 70% move or so. Yeah, 77% move, 15% pullback. Now I did trade the pullback here and broke out. I've traded this twice. I didn't catch this week's, which is part of the reason I'm kicking myself. I got in on this breakout or this pullback, broke out over the pivot, got on that one, missed the third one. So uh, can't trade it perfectly every time, but man, the move today, nice move over the pullback pivot right there on increased buying volume. That could have been a buy, kicking myself a little bit there, but really strong action. Then today, up 26%. That was MGNI. Let's go VERU next. This one I'm kicking myself even more for because I actually took this trade. So the goal, we had a couple days. Oh no, you know what I did? So this is Monday's candle. We undercut Friday's low and then took out Monday's high. So that's when I bought because this was already flagging out after this. What was the move? It was like 380% or something. Yeah, 380% move. Really strong action and then pull back 30% or so, 32%. It's been flagging out since then. So I was ready to jump on this on Monday because it was loading the spring up, undercut the low, took out all the stops there, then rallied over the high. That was my buy point. And then on Tuesday, it came all the way back. It broke out even more. I was up, I don't know, 12% on the trade or so. Moved my stop to my entry point. And in hindsight, that was too quick to do that. But I did because the market, we only had one day where the market bounced back. After what we saw last week, I was ready to play like just defensive trading, and that one kind of bit me on that because we did pull a little bit lower, had a sideways day Wednesday, then just exploded on Thursday. And in hindsight, what I could have done too was just trade the breakout through here or after the squat. So say like, okay, now I'm drawing another one. That breakout failed on Tuesday. So if we break over that high, Tuesday's high, then we'd be off to the races. And take a look at Tuesday's high was 1060. Today's low was 1071. So now you break over resistance, it becomes support. So man, really kicking myself on this one, but I don't know if I would have done anything differently in the moment because the market was just bouncing back one day. We had a lot of selling pressure. And I mean, this did flush 23% today. At one point, this was up 65% from last Friday's close. That's VERU. And let's go over JOE really quickly. This one was just a nice, strong uptrend. You got the 250, 28. Let me annotate this. So really strong move through here, 100 something percent, 105%. Pulled back only 18%, so qualified for the high type flag. I did trade it on a lower pivot here and then got stopped out. Didn't take this second trade, which again, there's hindsight. But what you could have done, just drawn that line down there or a pivot there. Either way, it kind of gapped up, so it would have been a tough buy. That's why I didn't buy it. But it gapped up and then kept rising on good volume. On good volume. So another just kind of flagged out after a strong move. Let some short-term traders get out of the trade, take their profits, and then it's off to the races again. All right, so that is from Sunday's watch list. From not Wednesday, typically it's Wednesday, but from Tuesday's close. We did the midweek movers live stream at 7 p.m. Central. Make sure you guys tune in to that next week. But put together a watch list of 20 stocks from that. From 20 stocks, the average gain in just 3 trading days was 14.9%. The only loser in that entire list was GP. So 95% win rate out of that list. We chose a lot of good stocks to watch. The biggest winners, SKLZ up 51.6%, MVIS up 51%, REKR up 33%, PLSE 29%, and GILT 28%. So, I mean, these are only the stocks that are up 25% in 3 days or less. So we did a great job finding the stocks. I just didn't do a great job myself trading this week. So, and you could see compared to IBD top 50, we just absolutely crushed it. So that's good to see that we're finding the right stocks. Next step is getting aggressive with the right names. So let's jump back to stock charts and midweek movers. Skills, SKLZ. So thankfully, this is one that I did trade, got in. Basically traded it exactly how I covered it on Tuesday's live stream. Let's do some measuring first. So I also traded it earlier on, like through here, had a good 40% move, took profit into this kind of sideways action, then it pulled back, set the trade up again, and then I bought, let's see here, you had that pivot, not perfectly drawn, but you get the point. 1, 2, 3 daily highs. So on Wednesday, when we opened under the high and then took out that high price, that's when I put on the trade. And I did put it on with size, got about 9% of my portfolio on the trade, moved up right through the point, got a good gain going the next day. And then the news came out. I think there was a partnership with the NFL, or I didn't look exactly into it, but really strong action. I did sell a quarter of my position right at the open, or actually a little bit pre-market. I think it was about 38. And then I did sell another 25% at $45 today. So I only have half the position left, but with this type of volume, I do want to be holding that remaining portion, because this isn't me and you, like retail traders buying. This is institutions buying, and I want to see if this attracts even more institutions and really run up the price from here. But 50% of the position already taken profit on. The rest have my stop at my entry. This looks like a great winner. That was SKLZ. Let's go MVIS next. All right, so this one, we had a really strong 525% move up, pulled back 50%. So you have to let that really base out, and that's exactly what I did. And then through here, you had just a really nice downward diagonal resistance. So 1, 2, 3, 4 daily highs on that diagonal. So when we opened lower than the diagonal, and then took out the previous day's high, that would have been your buy point on Wednesday. Got tons of volume as it extended, and then just great follow through on Thursday and Friday. Just a massive move on this one. And I mean, this is coming from $1.50 through here up to $7. So definitely a name to now put on your watch list. See if we can get another high tide flag forming from here as a possible trade in the future if you didn't catch it. But really strong action on this one. And we'll go PLSE. So this is another one. I didn't take MVIS, but I did catch PLSE. Similar to the setup, where is it? Similar to the setup I had with VERU, where on Wednesday, when we undercut Tuesday's low here and then rally back up to take out the high, I also noticed that move happened on very high volume. So when you see we were kind of flagging out there, undercut the lows on that move, and then rally back over the high. So I put my buy order in, not exactly at the low. I think it was at, is this Thursday's high or something? One of these candles high. So it got filled on the way up. I was already in a winning position on Wednesday. Thursday, great follow through. Quick pullback to the 8-day. Nothing concerning there. Tons of volume on that day. And then another 7.4% today. Great follow through on higher than average volume. And look at the volume spikes here. They're always on green days except for this one red day. So one strike against it, but really that's just a lot of accumulation volume on the way up. So I haven't taken any profit. I take that back. I took 25% of the position off today, and had my stop and my entry for the rest. And we're just going to let this kind of run because, I mean, this looks really strong, but we've only had one check back to the 20-day. Maybe from here we'll flag out, check back to the 20-day, and go from there. But really strong move on really strong volume. That's exactly what you're looking for. So that was the recap of the midweek movers live streams watch list. Again, 15% return on 20 different names. Hard to miss on Wednesday or Thursday. And then now we get to my current holdings. So you can see I'm 66.8%. Oh, not net short, my bad. Net long invested, 72% long. I do have 5.5% kind of a short position. It's a long SQQQ still. But you can see I have 6 positions between 5 and 10%, 8 positions between 3 and 5, and 3 positions between 0 and 3 that I'm just kind of taking profit and whittling down now. So let's go over a couple of these. Let's go to stock charts. Current holds. Yeah, if you guys don't use stock charts, I find it really helpful to put like watch lists together and then use that candle glance feature. I'm still getting used to charting everything for the videos, but I've found this really, really helpful. So let's do ALDX. This one had a 130% move up, then a pullback. We had this nice 25% pullback, and then kind of even better, we had, once we pulled back from that, caught some buyers, and then we quickly undercut even that low, shook everyone out, undercut the 20-day moving average, and then had another long lower wick the next day showing 2 days that buyers are stepping in along the 20-day, and that's what made it that's what made me want to take the trade, which I did along just this 2-day pivot through here. It opened, pulled lower. I didn't buy at the open. I waited till it pulled back, touched the 20-day, and then rallied back up a third day where buyers stepped in at the 20-day. So I don't know exactly what my fill was, but I think it was like 11.8, 11.9, something like that. Good follow through the next day, and look at the volume on some of these up days. So once it got extended, the pullback, nice and quiet volume wise. Definitely one to keep on your watch list. Maybe it pulls back again and sets another buy point with today's high. But this was ALDX. Next we have PLUG. This is one that held up so well during the market pullback that I was really aggressive getting this this position on right away on Monday. Or not on Monday, sorry. Was it on Wednesday I took this trade? Yeah, on Wednesday. So we had 2 days where we moved lower highs, lower lows on Monday, kind of a sideways action on Tuesday, and then we finally broke over the previous day's high on Wednesday, and that's when I put it on. And I put it on with some good size there, so about 8% of my portfolio on the trade. Since then, it really hasn't done much. It moved up a little bit, And then we had a down day today, but still closed right at the 8-day exponential moving average on lighter volume than the out. Um, but yeah, the power behind this name. So 400% move since what is that? November, and then really from the peak, it pulled back 20%, but it was a very quiet 20%. And just you could see it's flagging out here. The 8-day got flat right away. 20 days coming up for support. So I mean, this is one where if we can move over Thursday's high, I might just add on to the position and make it a full position, 10%, maybe even more. Because if this has the power, if it gets going, I want to be involved. As PLUG. And we'll do one more, BLNK. So this is one that I took on Wednesday. Let me see. No, sorry, I took this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Is this not showing Friday's candle? Hold on a second. Anyway, broke out on heavy volume. This is a trade that I've made a couple times too. So I have profit on the name, feel a little bit better about trading it on a pullback. Typically, I don't trade like the pullback buys, but pulled back. Oh, that's what it was. Pulled back. We had the undercut. Let me do that. We finally undercut the 20-day and we undercut the low of the previous day. And then as it was railing back over that point, that's where I put my buy position on. So I didn't even wait for it to make a new daily high. Got in with relatively good amount of size. I want to say 7% or so. And then since then, the next day kind of confirmed that the buyers were stepping in. We had good volume, higher highs, higher lows, closed above the 8-day. So recaptured that. Sideways action on Thursday and some basically sideways action today, but on higher volume. And it was a green day of 4.6%. So this is another name that has a lot of power behind it. I got aggressive with my entry because at the point that I put this on, this was one of my first positions this week, and everything else was ripping, and I had no long positions and was getting killed on my SQQ. So had to basically hedge my hedge by getting aggressive with a powerful name. So that was BLNK. Then I did want to go over just a couple quick charts. I made a lot of trading mistakes on Friday that I wanted to acknowledge. So because I'm kind of like playing catch up, because I went from 0% long to a market that's completely ripping that I want to be a part of. So on Friday, I made the watch list Thursday night for the stocks that I was going to focus on. We had a ton of names moving through their pivots. So I was taking many trades on Friday, way too many trades on Friday. And this was Friday after we've already been extended. The market's already been extended, bouncing back strong. And I should have known not to either taken the trades with lighter position sizes or just taken less trades overall, because a few different stocks that I traded just reversed and stopped me out for full stops. So first one was GOGO. This was actually only a half stop. Let's see. Sorry. Half stop at a little bit below my entry, only like 3%. This is high short interest, a name that I made money on the breakthrough here. I had like, I don't know, 30% gain, sold into this upper wick, missed this giant move here, but then it pulled back. Volume got nice and quiet, and I bought today as we broke over that high from Wednesday. And unfortunately, that basically marked the high of the day. It pulled back, took me out for a 3% loss on half the position, and I still have half the position, and it closed relatively well today. So, I mean, this could end up being a winning stock or winning trade, but this, along with the other trades that I was making, I just took too many trades, and it didn't end up working well for me. GP was one that bought right at the open. We were this is an IPO, cup and handle, and a high tight flag. So basically all the setups that you like to see. So I hit it with a good amount of size, about 8%, 9%, right at the open as we were moving over kind of the pivot buy point from Tuesday's high, and it ran right away. So I was excited. I was waiting on this, 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 and then finally it's going, and I got in. And then right after it, it kind of broke over this midpoint high here, just reversed and completely stopped me out for a full stop. I think it was a 4% stop, and on high volume. I'm assuming most of that volume's up in this upper wick, but I mean, that's an ugly looking candle. I don't want to be holding that over the weekend, especially with the size that I had on it. So disappointing, because this was a setup that I had been watching for a long time. Not a setup that I'm going to be turning my head away from if this firms up and goes again, but it looked like the stars were aligning, hit it with size, and they were like, nope, Nick, you're wrong. And this is just too much trading on Friday. Took OMI. This is one from our breakout watch list. Had 3 days, maybe even 4 days, pivot right through here. So break over that was my buy point, and then it squatted and actually flushed even more to the 8-day. Got stopped out there for 4% loss or so. Just another one. Taking a quick stop on a Friday, which I shouldn't have been trading too much. And then TUFN was another random stock that it was a good buy point. Things got nice and quiet through here. Bought right over the break. Quickly was up 6-7% on the trade. And then within minutes, someone sold everything in here, and it just flushed all the way down. Undercut the 8, undercut the 20, and I got stopped out. And not stopped exactly at my stop too. I had some slippage on that because everyone got their stop knocked out on this trade. And man, just a disappointing Friday, because Thursday everything was working well, was getting money through the pivots, and was up about 1,500 on the week. And then today gave back 1,200, so only up $300 on the week. So that's going to be the trading recap of the week. Basically, follow my watch lists and be a better trader than I am, because we're finding the right stocks. I just need to learn how to handle them and not overtrade on Fridays when the markets are extended. If you got anything out of the recap I did, please leave a like. Drop a comment of any stocks that you want to see on the breakout watch list on Sunday morning. Follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and StockTwits, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys on Sunday morning.